So WordPress started around 7 years ago now with a blog post on my blog where I had said I wasn't really sure what's the best blogging software to use, and I liked parts of Blogger, parts of Text Pattern, parts of Movable Type, and but I thought there could be something better, and a fellow named Mike Little left a comment on my blog saying, well, if you're serious about working on this, I'd love to work with you. And so out of that collaboration was born the earliest versions of WordPress. At the time, to configure web scripts, you'd have to go in, edit files. If you wanted to change the title of your blog, you'd have to edit a config file, which is ridiculous. So I just tried to make that simpler, more accessible. There was a fellow in Japan who took the software and went through every single file, hundreds of files, and replaced thousands of strings with Japanese. So he translated manually the entire software. That kind of opened the eyes while people in a country I've never been to and may never go to are translating the software and really excited about it. And that's actually when we started to take internationalization seriously. And that's been very successful for us because about 2/3 of our users are outside of the United States. I think one of the things that makes blogs the best is an active comment section. So I try to respond to as many comments as possible on my blog, stay active with it, follow up with people, answer questions if they have it. I love the idea of answering questions people have. I mean, that's why I go to so many WordCamps and things like that. There's really, honestly, probably not that much commercial benefit to us, but it helps me direct the product when I can speak to several thousand WordPress users a year, personally, one-on-one. So one of the most interesting trends, and one I didn't anticipate over the past couple of years, has been WordPress has created a software just for a blog. It's just powering your journal, whatever you want to call it. But as it evolved, both in power and flexibility, and as our users started using it for lots more things, now people use it to power their entire websites. And I guess around probably 50% or more of all new WordPresses in the world, which there are millions a year, are just websites. People are using it because it enables a lot of freedom. Like before, where people might have to ring up a web designer or something when they want to change their about page, they can just log in and use it. And since we focus so much on the usability of WordPress, it makes it accessible to folks who might be too scared to update a web page. I think of the 3 big open source CMSs, WordPress, Joomla, and Drupal, all are doing very, very well and growing very well. We're just on different islands and we're evolving in different ways. So by observing the others, hopefully you can pick up the best practices and maybe even avoid some of the mistakes they make. But I think all 3 are excellent projects, run very well. From a user point of view, balancing the open source side and the commercial side is very easy. I mean, it's generally pretty obvious. You know what the users really want. On a commercial side, I would say definitely we've probably foregone some short-term profits. Hopefully, that's for a long-term gain and growth. Certainly, if you wanted to make a ton of money, you just turn ads on every blog or something, or put big banner ads or pop-ups or something like that, and you'd make a lot of money for a year, and then you'd be MySpace. You'd scare our users away, you'd betray their trust. With every decision, we sort of think, well, do people want this? Is it meaningful? Is it something that's a long-term growth? Is it aligned with the needs of our users? Does it provide real value? And that's really the litmus test we try to apply to everything. And if there's a decision between making something free or making it paid, we tend to err towards the free side. If for no other reason than if we don't make it free, someone else is going to. WordPress is an interesting product because it came from our own needs. We have a fellow, and he's English, but he's in Japan. His name is Michael Pick, and he does all of our videos and screencasts and everything like that. He's amazing at it. But he is obsessed with video, particularly video quality. If you have a video that's 24 frames per second and you upload it to Vimeo, they turn it to 30 frames per second, which makes it a little jaggy or something, wonky, wiggly. I have no idea. I've never noticed this. He does. And so we wanted to create a video product that was good enough for the Michael Picks of the world. That just gave the absolute best quality video possible. It's not possible to do this free, because we're not Google. I can't subsidize, unlimited bandwidth and video with my search engine. But we found the economics were such, and we're able to write some pretty neat things. We're able to do it very inexpensively. So $60 a year, or about $5 a month. I'm influenced by a ton of people. Craig Newmark, who we just spent a few days with, I find the way that he stays so grounded in his approach to usability and to user experience just blows me away. Jeff Bezos, I think a true visionary. I mean, if you look at the stuff he's doing, the space stuff even. I mean, he's building a space company concurrent to building one of the largest and best retail companies in the world. That probably won't pay off for 20, 30, 40 years, who knows? But he's fine with taking long bets. And Amazon as a company I respect a lot because I think they take a very analytical approach to everything they do, but also they're not afraid to make long bets. So for example, the first time they started selling other people's stuff through Amazon, they got totally beat up in the stock and everything. And like, if someone else has a lower price, they're going to show it once you make less money, but they gain the trust of consumers. HTML5 is probably the thing I'm personally most excited about in the next few years on the web. Right now, as WordPress has transitioned from a document model to really becoming an application, things like silly stuff, Ajax, menus that slide up and down, auto-suggest when you type in tags, I mean, just silly things like that. HTML5, in theory, solves that. I mean, they add essentially rich application controls to the basic HTML document model. It allows us to do things that we've kind of dreamed of doing for a long time. I get almost constantly excited. There's sometimes I'll be like waiting in line, security line at the airport, and I'll have like my current phone's like a Droid, and so I'll have the Droid out. I'm looking at it, and I just have this flashback to Star Trek Next Generation or something, and the tricorders they'd have. And it's like, oh my goodness, I have a little device in my hand, which is like a 400 megahertz computer, 32 gigs of memory. I'm on the internet. I mean, this is just we live in the future.